What's up, weebs? Welcome to Shin, WeeaBoots, the dramatic rebirth of the only contemporary anime review podcast on the GigaBoots Podcast Network. I am your host, Dr. Animagro? Agranime? I'll figure it out later. And I am joined by my co-hosts, Noel Slamrocket.
They mustn't know about literacy. We can't let them know the secret of literacy.
Bob Video Games.
What do you know about Rakugo?
And Chris Wolfhart.
You're dead, socially.
And today, we are skimming the surface of the spring 2026 season with not one, but 3 new shows hot off the presses. All 3 adaptations of popular manga. All 3 from different studios. 2 of them seemingly directed by the same guy? Anyway, to date, we have all watched at least the first episode of MARRIAGETOXIN and Akane-banashi and the first 2 episodes of Witch Hat Atelier. And today we're going to give you our impressions, highlights, and the answer to the all-important question, will we be watching more? Or is this show a fat piece of shit and we're going to drop it immediately? Starting out, I think we're going to go to MARRIAGETOXIN, based on a Shonen Jump manga written by Jormyaku, which seems to be just one name, and illustrated by Mizuki Yoda, animated by Studio Bones, and directed by Motonobu Hori. This has been a long time coming. I've been reading this manga for a while. I sort of picked it up on a lark on the Shonen Jump app, and it is where I got the standing grizzly bear wearing a karate belt that I use sometimes.
Oh, wow. I was not aware that is where that was from.
Yeah, one thing that it, like this anime, it sort of does an okay job getting across, but it's very difficult, is the tone of this story is fucking weird. It keeps jackknifing back and forth between very serious, hyper-violent shonen battle and off-the-wall screwball comedy. But the tone never feels like it shifted out of genre.
Ooh.
Yeah, that kind of comes across even in this one episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
with
kind
his
of all over the
hobby of
place.
cleaning things using deadly acid, which can eat through glass, which is how you know something is a real. I don't think you should breathe near that.
No. I thought that's where that scene was going, frankly.
No, that would make it too serious. We can't do that.
Oh, okay. No fun trip to the hospital because his lungs don't work anymore.
That's why I always love that he's got a gas mask, but it only covers one eye and the other eye is fucked up. I always wonder, like, which of those happened first? Did you design the gas mask like that and the obvious happened? Or did you figure, well, I'm not pretty on this side anymore anyway, so I might as well not waste the plexiglass?
Jesus. How many corners must one cut before that's the decision you make?
Look, the asymmetrical design was too cool. His eye had to go.
It's true.
It is real cool.
So is the bear a bear master from a bear family? What context does this karate
the bear
show
is up? Okay, so one of the 5 families are the beast masters, the beast users, or the beast specialists.
Okay.
Depending on which translation you're reading.
That makes sense. Okay.
I did not know this was Shonen Jump until you brought it up just now, and now things are kind of lining up more in my mind. Like, okay, it's going to be that kind of show.
I mean, sort of. Mostly it is actually about Garo dating multiple women and trying to start relationships.
Technically, it's a Shonen Jump Plus manga, which is their online one where they put shit that's too spicy.
Okay.
And sometimes stuff that isn't too spicy, but mostly it's for when shit's a little bit too hot for to actually be in the magazine. Like that's where Chainsaw Man is or was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That checks out. Not that this is overly violent for a Shonen Jump or anything.
No, it's not.
I guess has more romantic elements, so that might make them push it into the not normal comic. I don't know.
Maybe that it also has that you also get more freedom with release schedules there. So they're like, it would be good if this person's arms didn't fall off. Maybe they shouldn't have to produce 100 pages a month.
No, everybody's built for that.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Opposite stance here. Is anyone actually built for that?
Rumiko Takahashi's still alive. I don't know how.
Rumiko Takahashi is a freak in every dimension.
In every dimension, yes.
All you have to do is look at her like art compared to any modern Shonen Jump art and be like, oh, she learned to live.
Yes, that's true.
In fact, you can go back to like before like probably around Hunter x Hunter is when it really started. And you can look at like, oh, everybody got a lot more into backgrounds. Oh, everybody's dying. Maybe there's a reason that everybody made Bleach has no backgrounds joke for the final 10 years of that serialization. I really like and I'm sure of course that this isn't just a one-off thing and it will be more common in the show, but I just love the implications of Centipede Man.
Oh God, Centipede Man is awful.
I'm just gonna ride my centipedes off into the sunset.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was coming, and still the tarantula legs coming up out of his mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most fucked up shit.
I'm sure we won't see that guy that much. He's only the best friend of the main character.
Well, he's getting married.
He is getting married.
He's getting married, and they're going to do this again when things settle down.
I genuinely expected him to die in that scene. Like I expected just there to be like a gunshot or like the slash cut and his head falls in half or something. Like I expected him to die the nanosecond he said that.
Yeah, I guess we didn't quite have the tone for the show yet, and it's like that doesn't seem to be the angle this is coming in at.
But
we also haven't introduced the Gun Clan yet.
Please tell me they look like they're from Equilibrium.
They practice gun kata.
It's more of a cowboy thing.
Oh, okay.
Boo.
I was really worried when this anime opened because, I'm a big fan of this manga, and it looked like we'd hit it's getting the cheap TV adaptation bracket. But no, it's Studio Bones, and they just really know when to turn the money on.
Yeah.
Like there's in the manga when Kinosaki gets kidnapped, it is one panel. It is the van appears out of nowhere and they get grabbed. And it is this huge long Sakuga segment in this episode.
Speaking of which, I guess he cut them off at the bridge. How did he catch up to the bridge? Then he runs fast enough to catch up to the vehicle? And I'm like, oh my God. All of those questions are out the fucking window now.
Right.
Garo doses like a motherfucker.
This dude's macro dosing.
He basically carries around vials of Kaioken.
I really liked the part at the beginning where he's like, yeah, I spiked the poison tester's food for 3 months until he wasn't affected by the poison I was going to use.
That's a fucked up way to kill a guy.
It's so fucking beautiful, too, because he even explains the whole, like, it's such an absurd execution, no one will think of it.
Right. It's like they would never suspect I did this stupid thing that took forever. It's like, I guess not.
I can't wait until the arc where they go to that town in I think it's Brazil where everyone is immune to mercury.
Shit, what? I didn't hear about this.
There is some town, I forget, that has like unbelievably toxic levels of mercury in the water. And everyone there is like generationally immune to mercury poisoning.
That's, man, a vision of a bright future. Humanity evolving.
So, Agro, I ask you, is this in fact a fat pile of shit that we're never going to watch again? Because apparently that's what we do on this show. We find out if animes are in fact fat piles of shit that we're never going to watch again.
No, I would say no. This is actually a pretty good anime adaptation. It knows where the strengths of the series are. It demonstrates that Garo is a good boy who is basically unsocialized except for his assassin family and doesn't understand anything. He's like a golden retriever covered in knives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching. I'm looking forward to watching more of this.
I really enjoyed this first episode. I'm excited to see more of it. I'm sad that there wasn't more out in the time I needed it to be to watch it for this, because it's, what is it, tomorrow is the next episode? Or did it happen? It was really close to just late enough or something. I don't know. But I really wanted to watch more. This is, in fact, my favorite of the set of 3.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing is this one, I got more of a feel for what the series was from this episode than from the other episodes
some
we
of the
watched.
others. Yes, it's true. It's very true. I'm like, this could go anyway. And I was really happy with Witch Hat. We at least got to see a second episode.
Yes.
I was real happy you got to see that second episode of Witch Hat.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna do the thing I always do on WeeaBoots. I'm excited for more of this to come out. I will definitely watch it in my free time. I definitely have free time.
This is all going to happen. No problem.
Excuse me, my form says will watch more. Can I get one that says would watch more? Chris, how about you?
So I have to confess something.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I followed an anime weekly was, I believe, Gurren Lagann.
That's not true. We made you do it for Chainsaw Man. I say
yes.
we made him.
Oh,
it
that
was
is-
his idea. So technically, you made you
Right.
for Chainsaw Man.
But that doesn't count because that was for money.
That's true. That is very true. This is like people going, but Noel, you own a PS5 Pro. And I'm like, how dare you? Fucking.
So, no, I'll probably read the manga, though. Guess what might be the answer to all 3 of these?
I mean, that's the purpose of a lot of TV anime, so I guess mission accomplished.
Very sad.
Bob Video Games.
I'm going to have to see what else is this season. This was pretty cool, but I'm not like 100% in or anything.
There's a lot this season.
Yeah, no, the season's really good. And
I'm on the hook for like 11 shows.
ooh. Yeah, a lot of good ones coming back this season too, so it's not much time.
Yeah, that's a fact. Moving on then, we also had fellow Shonen Jump alum Akane-banashi, based on the manga by Yugi Suenaga and illustrated by Takamasa Moe. It was animated by Studio Zex, Zexcs.
Mm-hmm.
I could not find one thing they did that I've actually seen.
Huh, yeah, they name it similar enough to that old studio that did like Sorcerer Hunter that I thought it was them for a moment, but it is not them.
Mm-hmm. They made a bunch of stuff, just nothing I've ever watched. Directed by Ayumu Watanabe. Put a pin in that name for later.
That's a weird thing to say.
What a strange thing to say.
This is another in our apparently slowly growing catalog of anime based on Rakugo.
Yeah, this is the second one of these kind of animes I've seen.
And this one is free to watch on YouTube.
It's true. They're just straight up putting it up there. Apparently, nobody wanted to buy exclusivity.
No, I think they explicitly were like, this is a really important, like, putting our Japan's cultural product out there, so we're gonna just put it on YouTube.
It's really unfortunate that means that it's actually the worst looking I've seen an anime in years. Because YouTube streaming
This is gonna be
literally nightmare.
This is gonna be nostalgic for a large number of the listeners, I bet. The ones who watched anime in 3-minute chunks across 10 parts, because that was a whole
it's
generation of people
11.
who didn't learn BitTorrent.
Yeah, no, I never experienced that. I just saw other people be like, wait, why don't you guys just download it? What are you doing? What do you mean you're watching it like this?
I watched a bunch of Inazuma 11 that way because I didn't feel like downloading it, but that is like the only thing.
My internet was too shit for downloading, so I would queue up. Like, I watched all of Ouran High Host Club in thirds on YouTube. I'd queue one up and let it load for a while, then come back and queue up the second part and watch the first part. And I would just rotate it.
And this is when, dear young listeners, they only had to, at most, flip the anime instead of now where it must be flipped and put inside a smaller frame, inside a larger frame, and color changed slightly. But don't worry, I'm sure they'll replace the thing that does that with AI that will be completely incapable of doing it, and they'll all come back.
So Akane-banashi it is the story of what is apparently a very cherished cultural icon of Japanese heritage, the sublime art of Rakugo, delivered here in the form of a shonen battle manga. It is so wild that the first episode of this show is as much as it is. Where it ends with, and now we're going to start the anime.
It's true. It is a little bit like that. But I know for a fact, though, that this is a series where Rakugo performers keep breaking out their bankais.
It's true. People have named techniques. The audience fades into their fucking expanded zone powers and shit. Like, not literally. It's like Beyblade where you see it happen, but you're not sure how much is real.
Of course.
They sure love showing, like, here's all the senior Rakugo performers, and it's framed like them revealing the captains in Bleach.
It is. Howries and everything.
Aggro, in that first episode, no, I got it immediately. They showed the entire audience laughing, and I was like, it's like the Joker. Ain't no fucking way that audience is this enthused.
Yeah, it's weird. This is because of the nature of this and how it is a weird, like, prequel story. I'm excited to see the second episode because the most exciting parts in this episode were Akane herself and her use of Rakugo to re-explain things that happened to her in grade school. So I'm excited to see what she does with it, and not just about how her father was epically defeated and killed.
Okay, first off, he was
Socially.
He was.
Yes.
Just to be clear, that was a scam. He was not epically defeated. That's propaganda. This goes all the way to the top, and this anime is going to investigate why.
I mean, yes, obviously.
I mean, it is. That's the whole thrust. Is Akane's like, I'm gonna get so good at Rakugo, that old fuck has to apologize and tell me why he kicked my dad out.
And then we get the epic flashback of, no, your dad was dog shit at this. This was the Joker.
I'm like, spoiler alert. At some point, an adult sits her down and goes, "You get that you're like way better at this than your dad was, right?"
Like, you get that impression in episode 1.
Yes.
This is the kind of manga where, you know, it's people performing in a very intimate oral art form. So it's a lot of detailed face drawing and expression, and it's really funny when the TV anime like shifts gears to try and do that and doubles the detail in the face for certain scenes. And you're like, oh, there's Akane, there she is.
I'll be honest, all of my mental notes on this anime episode we watched are basically jokes. So I have here written in my brain space, it's like The Critic if The Critic was about an art form I don't care about in the least. They should do this anime but for podcasters that aren't good.
Well, at least there'd be a lot of villains in that one.
It's basically nothing but anti-heroes and villains.
Jesus.
Behold my ultimate technique, just asking questions.
I don't know why, but this one background lady in the opening when her dad was doing the little show to almost nobody delighted me. She's just so pleased to be there.
No, you too, huh? I was like, she's just so happy, and I just can't imagine the life she lives outside of this moment to make this a highlight.
Like, you too could attain this Zen-like peace if you experience the precious cultural resource of Rakugo.
Do you promise?
I think it's like, you can experience this if you don't have a job.
It is sort of a, like, how are you all here in the middle of the day on a Tuesday kind of thing.
Yeah, no, this just made me think about, man, I really should have gone to the stand-up comedy club we had in town for the longest time. It had been here forever, and apparently they shut that shit down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, either that or they just changed the sign. I think they did both.
Okay, I was like, I know it changed to a new
The
sign.
vibe changed completely. It had a terrible 1980s stand-up club sign.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like any respectable human would ever do anything here, and that ruins it for me, I feel like.
Because of the premise, we are getting to the point in the manga where I'm starting to feel conflicted between I really like this manga and I want to continue reading it, and we need to start being in the last phases of it here, because we're gonna run out of how much better at this you can measurably be than someone else.
God, now I'm like, will it be like other Shonen Jump shows where it's just like, no, you're doing too well, you can't end. You absolutely cannot
Right.
have Frieza show up again.
Right in the new arc, we find out that Rakugo was actually invented by aliens, and they've come back. So, to no one's surprise, I'm going to keep watching this show because I love the shit out of this manga. Akane is a wonderful little gremlin creature who is that my most favorite of battle shonen archetypes is both naturally talented at a thing and works really hard to achieve their goals and sometimes swears at old people. Chris Wolfhart, how about you?
Like I implied earlier, I haven't caught up on the manga. I haven't been reading the manga, so I will read the manga. It's important to know the thing that very clearly all Shonen Jump editorial is going, One Piece is going to end within like 2 or 3 years, and we will die without this. This is the only thing that seems like it's been blowing up the way we need something to blow up. Please, God.
It'll definitely blow up in the States, right? Oh no.
Yes, One Piece Sky Akane-banashi Skypiea arc. Let's go.
It'd be very, very funny to see Akane as a balloon in the parade.
I mean, currently they are on a boat doing. You know what? We're not going to go into.
Yeah, let's not talk about people being on a boat. A lot of people have trauma related to that. Happened to Berserk, and then it happened to Hunter x Hunter later.
Noel Slam Rocket. What do you think?
I genuinely need to see the second episode of the series to get an idea if I if I liked it. I sure enjoyed watching that first episode and coming up with ceaseless comparisons that are bizarre.
we may be in a mechanically interesting place where, regardless of quality, you kind of need to see the next episode when the story actually starts.
It truly was a moment of, I feel like I had just the Cromartie bit where they're like, if you want to learn about that, read the manga. It literally felt like that for episode 2.
I am perpetually surprised that never became a thing, where they just make episode 1 of an anime and be like, now buy the manga.
And there's no more series.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it needs to stay on TV for 12 weeks so that you buy the toy too.
I would totally buy an Akane-banashi figure. I hope the little pillow is removable. Bob.
Yeah.
What's the verdict?
I absolutely need to see the second episode to know.
To know what it is.
Right? Because like I said, my favorite part was Akane. And it's apparently going to be about her. So it should be good. But what if something goes wrong?
Oh man, I need the spin-off manga that's just about her dad's day-to-day life now.
It's so funny that that even in this first episode, they're like, they treat him like the dead parent. He's like, but no, he just had to get a job, which I guess is akin to dying.
Yeah, basically.
But he doesn't tell the part about the beach anymore. He's on cruise control.
Jesus. Holy shit.
They should get John Lovitz to be her dad in the dub.
Unironically, yes.
Oh my God, that would be perfect. Holy shit.
No dub has ever needed to be stunt cast harder than this show.
Jesus Christ, who do I talk to? What petition do I start? That would be too fucking perfect. Oh my God.
Well, moving on from the narrative hostage situation that was this show's first episode, we move on to maybe one of the most anticipated shows of the season, the animation of Witch Hat Atelier, which is based on the manga written by Kamome Shirahama and published by Kodansha. It's been produced by Bug Films and also being directed by Ayumu Watanabe.
Hey, wait a second.
Weird.
I know that name.
strange.
We considered the possibility that it's just two people with the same name, and in the West, the links are getting conflated.
Yeah, because that does happen in the game industry where two different game developers with similar enough jobs have an identical name, and unfortunately, their entire careers get collated into one guy, some mythical man.
No, there's just got this guy in the store manager 2 position I used to talk about at GameStop, where they have to run 2 whole stores.
God.
Since Witch Hat Atelier got delayed several months, it might literally be they finished working on it, and then he could go work on Akane-banashi.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that definitely happened. So I guess that's how it worked out.
So when I first started reading this manga, which is just gorgeous, by the way, I remember my initial pitch became, hey, what if the Owl House was kind of berserk?
Pretty good comparison.
Mm-hmm. They're already simuldubbing this one. Did anyone check out the dub?
Yeah, we actually watched the dub and the sub.
Yeah.
One for episode 1, then 2, switching.
It was really interesting watching the mentor, his vocal register go up multiple octaves between the two. He's very high pitched in Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I was not prepared for the pronunciation of his name. Because it's spelled like Qifrey, which they, in the show, in both languages, pronounce Keyfree.
Yes.
I could have sworn to you it was Kifrey.
Huh.
Yeah, just emphasis.
It probably is, and they're just wrong.
Is this the localization thing you were talking about? How like local fan sub switches the L's and the R's? Is this what that Blue Sky post was about this week?
It is. God, that first pronunciation hit me in the jaw.
So it did not shock me upon the opening of this, realizing that obviously the Atelier series of games heavily inspired this series, considering it starts with music exactly like those games. What I did not expect is for the fact that they took the Minter character for the Atelier games later, like it fed back, it did the loop. Where they're like, we're going to take a bunch of inspiration for this, and then the games went, ooh, we'll take that character, thank you.
Fair is fair.
Watching this, all I could think about was that meme that went around a long time ago of like, okay, is this show like, is the story good? Or does it have a really interesting, complex magic system that they explain a lot?
I don't understand the delineation.
Right?
I have the kind of brain where there isn't a difference.
Right. No, I understand that because
Fate Stay Night fan being like, it's a good series, sir.
It's a good series, sir.
It is a really good magic system, though. I'm real glad the anime does, like as it did in the manga, gives you a couple pages of a primer on how all of the sigils are drawn, so that in the future, whenever someone's drawing something, you too can look and go, oh, I know exactly what that spell's going to do.
That does seem to be the most of the point of these first 2 episodes, if nothing else. This is another one I'm glad that had the 2 episodes, because kind of really expected opening episode was accidentally magic freezes / kills her mom and then has to go join the magic world.
You're saying it's a really predictable, straightforward thing?
Yeah.
It's true. It's like, your mother,
it is.
You must promise me to never leave me, so something tragic would happen to cause you to go on your journey. And she's like, Mom, that is such a specific thing you just said. Okay.
Also, I'm retiring tomorrow.
Right. But yeah, I was watching that, like, really appreciating Little Witch Academia. Is like, no, she just wants to go get to magic cool because magic is cool.
Magic is cool.
Yeah. God, I remember like this. I had seen people recommend like, oh, this is the shit. This is the next big thing. You need to read this. So I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. I start like the first page and it's like, only some special people are born as witches and are able to do magic. And I sighed deeply because I fucking hate magic and power systems that you're born into. And then when the whole premise of the show is lol, not really.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, I will follow this series for the rest of my life.
So what you're saying is you've never rolled a sorcerer.
Fuck sorcerers. Sorcerers are the cowards, wizard.
Sorcerers are the cowards wizard.
Yep.
Is this like specific to D&D or like a broad statement?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if there's a delineation like that in anything but Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's D&D and anything directly cribbing D&D.
Or as we call them, D&D likes.
So I like how even in these episodes, with almost nothing, I feel like you start to get the energy a little bit that maybe this association is a teensy bit evil.
Oh yeah, that's already with them being like, we absolutely do not use it to heal. I was like, okay, this is getting a little worrying.
And also we erase your memories if you learn about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean... Look, it's complicated and morally gray.
and that's great. But I'm really for it if Will Smith rolls up and he's the one who wipes my memory.
Right. And did you see how pretty that main guy is? It can't really be just evil. It's got to at least be morally gray because he's so pretty.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have some kind of dark twisted side that'll come up later.
No.
He just loves keeping these little girls.
Maybe not that dark.
Okay. to be fair, there is literally another guy who lives in that house whose job it is to make sure everything is above board.
I'm just
That
saying.
is how the Atelier system works.
I don't know how to phrase this. He gives me Hazama from Blaze Blue vibes a little. Something slips. The veil slips slightly, and that guy just concerns me. I don't know.
I don't know. He just seems like your standard issue dubious twink to me.
He really does have like will he betray energy? Gonna have to wait way too long to find out.
Will he be Eito Otsuki?
He's gonna do that plan just like Geen did, where we found out way too late that his plan was stupid and he waited way too late.
God, that's so likely. Yep.
Look, I'm still waiting for that shoe to finally totally drop, but that is a worrying comparison.
But I'm sure this is just going to be a fun-loving series where they just practice magic for 12 episodes and then it's over and everything was fine.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, like it's just a bunch of children practicing magic, a force so reckless and powerful that it was banned and most of the world had their memories erased. Nothing horrible or incontrovertible is going to happen to any of these kids.
Good to know. I can go in just without any worries.
Eyes wide and open heart. Go ahead and get attached to that random grab bag of accents that the dub has.
Ooh.
Some of which seem to shift nationality mid-sentence.
They sure do.
Yeah, just why try? Why try if they don't actually?
Sometimes we had a little bit too much fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad we didn't watch episode 2 with the dub. I want to hear all of the other kids.
Uh-huh.
I went back for him.
To quote Aggro, you don't have to take the first person who auditions. You can check and see if they can do it.
One thing this anime does do very well, very economically, is, you know, this manga's art is gorgeous. A lot of it looks like a woodcut. There's a lot of extra ornamentation and decoration in the paneling. All of the material in it, the backgrounds, the tables, the books, the cloth, it's all very detailed and very well textured. It all feels very, you know, livable. This anime does a very good job of not blowing its whole budget trying to recreate that entirely, and then moves like you're dragging Photoshop characters across the screen, Berserk 2016. It's really good at shading that in where and when it can and giving you more of the feeling of it, and then hitting it really hard at specific moments, and, you know, using its TV anime budget appropriately to recreate the feeling of that art style.
Yeah, once in a while they use 3D CG to do that, and it actually kind of works in the few moments they use it, which is surprising. I always expect that to go way worse than it did here.
Yeah. it is still crazy to me how very, very similar to the Owl House's plot this is.
But this doesn't have Ryoko.
It doesn't, and it like anything could be benefited by just adding Ryoko in.
How good would they be at Rakugo?
I think Ryoko would be very good.
She does Ryoko Go, which is her
Jesus.
still sitting on the pillow, but just like drinking a giant bottle of sake. And then throwing an empty bottle of sake into the audience.
They really eat it up, though.
So, Bob,
what's up?
For the purposes of this series, we have experienced a glut 100% more episodes than the other two series. Has that superfluity of content been enough to convince you that this is a series worth watching?
Yes, I feel like I'm going to need to keep watching this and see. Well, God, it's going to be one of those where we get 12 episodes and it stops for like 6 years. But I'll still be excited to watch those first 12 episodes.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to hurt. Like, I have no idea where this anime is going to end. I don't know what part of the story we're going to stop on. I am terrified.
Is this one of the ones that's confirmed for only 12 episodes in this season?
I always just assume that. I never check.
It's understandable. That
that's kind of the standard now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Every now and then you get a double, but
right. Yeah. I was hoping. I'm hoping for a double.
Right. That's so rare.
If I was going to like put my finger down on the season and which one might get it, it would be this one. Noel, even if we're in for only 12 and then the crushing silence of nothing for years, do you think you're going to continue watching Witch Hat Atelier? Or will it be scorned and tossed into the waste bin of drop series?
The show is ass. What were they thinking? This show fucking sucks. It sucks fucks, and frankly, I don't like it. No, it's a very pretty show, has charming characters, it's an interesting magic system. It's not for me. I'm not going to keep up with it. I don't need to stick around for the veil to fall off on that guy. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I need to bounce. I need to get out of town. I don't need to be there when it happens.
Like I've seen this look when someone's like, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been reading this fantasy novel, and then I pick it up and I see the look on their face. I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is not a thing you're going to enjoy. Chris Wolfhart, have you been inspired by moving pictures to seek out more sequential art renditions of this story?
Not this time, because I'm just going to wait for it to be over.
Yeah, I wish I could have told me to do that, because this comes out seldomly.
Is it a monthly, or is it even more rarer?
Like, I think it's a monthly. It feels rarer.
Yeah, but yeah, we got these episodes, and I'm like, this is exactly the one that I need to wait until it's done.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
There will be no joy following it live, only pain.
Uh-huh.
I won't even get to make any agenda posting about characters loving slavery like I do with long-running shonen.
God.
No, I don't think that comes up.
Jesus.
I had to double check. I mean, it's a medieval society. There's messed up stuff going on.
The idea of Witch Hat Atelier having agenda posting is hysterical.
Unfortunately, my heart and balls are already in the vice, and I need to watch every episode the moment it comes out as we creep closer to what the fuck are they going to end this first season on? Even though I know that will hurt. It's not even... The oven coil is already orange. This isn't an honest mistake. I'm still going to touch it.
Yeah, of course. You have to.
If for nothing else, then for episode 7 when they go, I'm sorry, I've been saying my name wrong. It is Kafre.
I will stop reading manga entirely. I will become an anime-only guy for the rest of my life.
Jesus.
We get those on the fly updates on One Piece for Bourgeoisie, whatever it's called now.
Oh my god. Well, that is all we have seen so far this season. Let us know in the comments if any of us, any particular one of us, is completely wrong about any given series. We thank you for joining us this time on Shin WeeaBoots. We'd like you to join us next time, whenever, wherever that may be, and whatever we may be watching.
The executive producers for this month's GigaBoots videos are Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Cooper Tank, BN12, and Rado. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these guys. If you want to become an executive producer or a normal patron, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.